Something I find very interesting that's come out as a result of the election of Donald Trump is defenders of the white working class who have emphatically stated that it's a myth that there's a racist white working class, or that, as the Socialist Equality Party wrote, and there's a myth of the reactionary white working class. Essentially, their idea goes like this. Well, a lot of people who were minorities voted for Donald Trump, so therefore. You see, the problem is that's a total non sequitur. Now, here's the thing. If there really isn't a racist, reactionary white working class, then how does racism exist? In order for racism to exist, people have to be carrying out acts of racism. So, on a very fundamental level, this doesn't really make any sense. And secondly, what we saw was a great deal of people supporting Donald Trump based on his racist views. He didn't give much of an argument for anything. He didn't take many solid positions, or even explain them very well. His entire campaign was racially motivated, yet people still supported him. Yes, he was anti-establishment, and that was a very big key part. I don't deny that. I've made that argument in the past. A lot of the support Donald Trump got was for being supposedly an outsider, someone who was anti-establishment or against the system. Frankly, that was one of the most foolish things I've ever heard. If you believe that, that's certainly how he portrayed himself, but I think that's foolish. All the racism is there. An increase in hate crimes, an increase in racially motivated violence. It's all there. So I don't know where these Marxists are getting off saying that there's no such thing as a racist white working class. The election of Donald Trump certainly indicates what kind of people the American public is. If you decide to vote and you decide to engage in elections and you think that they are really that it really is a free and fair choice within the confines of capitalism, then you get the government you deserve. That's what you get when you believe the system works. You can't have all of this racism, all this representation of the white working class, the installment of all of these, white nationalist leaders into Trump's cabinet, and then turn around and say there's no such thing as a reactionary white working class. Of course it is. It's these people, and what they're trying to do is whitewash the white working class. One of the key components of imperialism is racism, looking at the people in the occupied countries or the oppressed countries as being less than them. Your freedom or your rights really are not as valuable as our comforts. And this is an inherently racist stance. And this even comes from first world black people doing it to third world black people. This is there. Now, this is a very key part of imperialism, the belief that the people in this country are superior to that one, and it's mostly manifested by racism, because the majority of the world's population, which are not in the global privilege position, are people of color, and thus it manifests itself as racism. But then when racism happens at home, these first worldists turn around and say, well, there's no such thing as a reactionary white working class, no such thing as a racist white working class, because non sequitur argument. It's absolutely nonsense. You're going to have to face the fact that first world people are pieces of shit. And that Americans in general are really fucked up people. They're bad people. They're messed up. They are racist. They are homophobic. They are xenophobic. This runs right through the entire system, regardless of the color of a person's skin or even their sexual orientation. You'll find plenty of homosexual men that will agree with white nationalists not to allow refugees from Syria and other countries into theirs. There's no avoiding this. The first world is racist. It's a very key component of imperialism. And no amount of just dismissing that or making up ridiculous non sequiturs is going to change that. People need to wake up and realize the real face and, frankly, the real substance of the first world working class. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.